Hey, what's up guys, Matt here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about what I believe are some of the best gaining items in the rest of 2021 here. Obviously we're in a market downturn at the moment, but there's a couple items I have specifically been looking out for, and there's some I just spent over $200 on in the past couple days, and I felt like this was something that could potentially be a pretty big gainer later this year as the game starts to ramp up again. But as always guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and a large majority of you guys aren't, it definitely helps me out. Discord's the top link in the description. Let's hop on into it. First up here, I want to talk about the Shattered Web collections. Now the Shattered Web collections are good because there's no more of these skins coming out, and based on the precedent that was set, we will most likely never see these skins again. One particular collection I've personally been looking a bit more into is the Canals collection. Now I've been looking into the Canals collection a little bit more because it's not as popular as the Norse collection, and it's really almost the third collection most popular. I could even see people putting St. Mark above this. For me, I just prefer the Canals collection because the other two collections have seen a pretty decent amount of popularity in my eyes, and I feel like the Canals collection and the Op prints have kind of been pushed to the side, and I believe in the future there will be definitely a bit more interest in that as we move on. But all three of these collections are pretty good. They're roughly the same overall long term. They're most likely going to see similar amounts of growth moving forward. I personally just like the Canals collection a little bit better. It's got a little bit lower prices, and I think that's a little bit more enticing to some people. I was able to pick up one of the minimal wear purple skins for $80, but if I wanted to go ahead or go over to the Norse collection, it would have cost me over double that. So I feel like this is a bit more enticing for some people who don't have the largest budget. It's able to attract a bit more buyers. Next up here then, I want to talk about the Broken Fang collections. Now the Broken Fang collections are similar to the Shattered Web collections, is that the precedent has been set that we will not see these skins return. However, most of these skins at this point really haven't seen much growth unless you bought them when they first came out, roughly around the $15, $16 marks for like your field tested purples. You really haven't seen much growth, and honestly I feel like it will most likely stay like that for a while as we get into the fourth quarter of the year and operation kind of hype starts to build up again. We could potentially see a bit of a price increase as people become more interested that these skins might be gone forever. Overall, for these skins though, we knew in the beginning that it was going to take a while for them to actually see a pretty decent amount of profit just because the amount of them that were out there. With Shattered Web, you couldn't specifically choose which collection you want. You couldn't choose if you wanted a collection over a sticker or anything like that. But with Operation Broken Fang, you were able to do that, and that led to significantly more of these skins on the market, and there's just not as much demand for them right now, as most of the people who are playing right now most likely participated in Broken Fang. The problem I see moving forward with this though is there's so many average people who have these out there that are not looking for a very long-term amount of profit. Soon as it starts to go up in price, it's going to have a really rough time increasing in price, like we saw the Shattered Web collections where it took them a while to start gaining in price because there's so many of those people out there with these skins, and it's going to be even worse for the Broken Fang collections. A lot of people have these skins and they're ready to cash out at any moment, and that's what happens when people start listing it for just a cent or two lower than everyone else. And with an item like the purple field tested skins we were talking about earlier, there's not a ton of hype around this skin, there's not a ton of interest around it, and it takes forever for these skins to get bought up. Overall though, the reason I have this on here is because I feel like at this point most of its growth is going to come from a kind of a hype rug pull kind of scenario. We're going to see a lot of people start to get into this, and we're going to see a lot of FOMO around this coming the next operation, and I feel like the prices are going to build up way higher than they should be, and if you're looking to cash out at that time, it could be a perfect option. And I feel like the drop we're going to see afterwards is going to be very significant, and you're going to be able to rebuy into these skins for holding onto them for the long term with a little bit of profit in there. Overall though, I could definitely see these skins start to go up soon as we start to see a little bit more operation hype and such as that. But right now, they're the most common operation skin, they're the most new operation skin, and right now there's just not a ton of hype building around them. Right now though, I'm not currently adding to my position for the Control collection or any of the 3 Broken Fang collections, but I do still have a significant amount of money in them. I've got as much as I do for Shattered Web in with the Operation Broken Fang collections, so I still feel like there is a pretty decent long-term potential with these, but right now we just gotta weed out all the people who are trying to sell for a little bit lower. Lastly, then we have cases. Now there's 3 specific cases I'm investing a bit more into currently. First up here, I gotta go with the Shattered Web case. You know I'm gonna be a Shattered Web case fan till the day I die. It's absolutely amazing the profit potential I see on this case. I think right now a lot of people are starting to kind of get nervous about the Shattered Web case. It's been a while and we haven't seen any long-term growth, but I expect that one day it will just kind of take off, similar to how it did last year, where it went from just about $1.50 to $3 in a month or two, just because people are going to start FOMO investing at that point, and it's going to see a little bit of a fallback, but overall it's going to be significantly higher than where it's at now. I feel like that date is not too far away, but it still is in the future, and right now $1.30 for one of these cases I think is a really good price. Next up here then, I have the Hydra case. Now the Hydra case is also one I've started to become a pretty big fan of. I like the skins inside. I like the very bottlenecked commodity this is. There is very few of these out there, and we're starting to get to the point where we're almost seeing prices that we saw before this big bubble. Now, I really enjoy those prices, but I think that right now it might continue to fall a slight bit more. We're probably going to go down to around the $10 range, and right now we're sitting at roughly an $11 range, but I feel like we're most likely going to gain support around the $10 range moving forward. I do see a lot of long-term potential with this case, similar to a price point that like the Bravo case is at right now. Currently, it's only $10, and we saw the potential and the amount of people buying this when it was up into the $15 to $18 range, so I'm not very worried about it getting to that price point. My biggest concern is once it gets to the $20 price point, either the skins inside of these are going to have to increase in price, or we're going to have to see the gloves increase in price. Overall though, this is the one I'm adding to the most with the money I just deposited. Speaking of money deposited though, I left a couple sites in the description if you're looking to deposit some money. Just remember to never deposit onto Steam. The last case I'm going to put on this list is going to be the Operation Bravo case. Now this one's a little bit of a safer option, but I also do see some long-term potential with this. We've seen the level that CSGO players will pay to just open these cases and open souvenir packages and open capsules at a very high amount, and I feel like the Operation Bravo case could definitely push a price point of $60 in the future without having to go through too much stress. If you're looking to invest into this one though, I would be very hesitant based on its current trend. Now all the other skins we saw, they were kind of going and starting to kind of level out at a certain price point. The Bravo case is yet to do that, and that most likely results from just the low amount of these on the market. There's only 700-ish on the market right now, so it makes it very volatile to just a couple people buying up everything or just a couple people selling lower than everyone else. I personally set a buy order for $40. I can't see this case going really lower than $35 for the near future, but overall it's one that you got to be a little bit more cautious about moving forward. But as always guys, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and on Friday I am going to be releasing a little bit different of a video, as long as nothing major investing wise happens, which I pretty safely assume won't happen at this point. You're going to be seeing a little bit of a different kind of video. It's one I've spent a while on, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But as always guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day.